Good morning. This is Ron Brown. It's Saturday morning, February 6th, 2021. This is a market report, and also I want to clear up a few things. I'm going to try to keep this report down to 10 or 15 minutes. There's also another video that I'll be posting up here. It's something that it's a video I recorded yesterday. It's the technique I'm using for intraday with the smart groups. So both of those will be linked here. This is a picture from the newsletter, and this is the new link. You're going to have to change your link. It's the 2021 add-on. Now I do this occasionally because customers come and go, and if they go, I don't feel that they should have access to my most recent files. So that's why I change it every 6 months or so. And the link will be in the email. And also, you can always find this page right here under the help file. If you go to member services and locate the investor club, it will take you to the newsletter. You just download it, and you can download a PDF file, and you'll always have the link to my latest add-on. So for those of you who are new to HCSI, I want to make sure that you understand what you have to do. If you want my add-on, you need to delete my warehouse views and my chart views, so you have the same thing I do. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring up the warehouse. Get this, oops, sorry about that. I had that set to always on top. I want to get rid of that. And there is an icon here. It's called Choose Create View. Now I'm using the small icons on the main menu. Preferences, use small toolbar. If you don't, then you get these large toolbars or icons up here, and it just takes up screen space. So use small toolbars. And getting back to this, just locate this, choose Create View, and select Ron Brown Daily Top-Down Process Scans. Delete that, and do the same thing with the chart. Bring up a chart, or with the charts. Bring up a chart, and then locate this, Ron Brown Top-Down Analysis Charts. Delete that. And then you will download the add-on if you haven't already, and then you'll install that add-on. And here it is, the 2021 February add-on. I've already downloaded it to this computer. And it has to run through the process. I'll just pause this for a minute. That actually took a couple of minutes on this computer. It's not my fastest computer, but I like the screen resolution for doing videos. It's sharpest. So anyway, I'm going to go into the designer, and this is what I have. These are my user smart groups. User groups, I want to point out a few things here. And the 2021 non-index groups, there's so much interest in high, because of the game stock. I put the high short interest stocks in here. These are not updated every day. The last update was the 29th. I assume they update them every week, but I'm not sure. If you want to do it yourself and check on it, just go to highshortinterest.com, and there are 70 stocks here that belong in that. I've got 69 in here. One of the symbols evidently was not in HGSI, but if you want these stocks with the high short interest, there it is. These are the, I've been doing this a long time. IPOs beginning in 2018. It goes back quite a ways, but I just wanted to point out the high short interest. Another thing that you need to know is since there is so much hype and talk about cryptocurrencies, if you go into my major market analysis user group and go down here, there are Bitcoin related symbols. Now these stocks are associated with Bitcoin one way or another, and Paul Reike gave me this this list, and it it's helpful. So just it's right down here in the folders, and or I'm sorry, in the market analysis user group. So it's there if you want it. Now let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to go with the Major Markets Plus folder. I'll click on my warehouse view. Notice that since I installed the add-on, everything is here. Again, I'm going to click on top-down analysis, Major Markets Plus, and I'm going to do something a little bit different today. I'm going to bring up the ranking module, and then I'm going to go up to File, Tools, and I'm going to tile the ranking module and the warehouse module, and then I'm going into relative strength. I'm going to use raw relative strength. Then I'm going to use percent change 1 week. Okay, and what this does, I didn't change that to 1 week, did I? It's still 2 weeks, so let's do it again. I need to go over here to my keypad. Okay, so this shows that this is the percent change from Friday to Friday, and you can see that the U.S. Natural Gas Fund was up 11.90%. If I click through to the warehouse and sort on raw combo, which has a percentage price change 1 day, you can see that the gold miners led yesterday. If I go back up here again, click on this, it tells me that natural gas was actually down 2.9% yesterday. So for the week, because of the cold weather, it was up sharply, but on a short-term basis, it was down yesterday. I'll just bring up a chart here. Let's see what chart comes up. I'm going to go to under my name. I'll use frequently used charts. I'll just go to my black charts. Let's look at number 6. This is a daily chart. Take the crosshair off, and you can see that gold miners were up yesterday. This is the intraday information. I'm going to go back to my context charts and go to what I call position sizing, because it has both the intraday and the end of day, and the last date was yesterday. And you can see that gold miners using the moving average that I use well below the 200-day, and it's still in a downtrend, but there are some bottom fishers yesterday and the day before. A gap down, and then buyers came into it. What I really want to point out is these other percentage changes. The commodities, they bounce all over the place, but notice this ARC Next Generation. These ARC funds just continue to go higher. Now I'm going to go to a different chart. I'm going to go up here and find a weekly chart, because it has this information. Look at this ARC Next Generation. The last 3 months up 44.2%. Anybody with the foresight just to dump their capital into these is doing very well. 6 months 70%, 12 months 165.5%, and they keep going up. Here's Autonomous Tech. Here's a Bitcoin Investment Trust. What's it? 229% over 12 months. 3 months, 119.3%. You can see the sell-off, but it's going back up. You know, we all look at the NASDAQ and the NYSE and the S&P and so on, but the real story is told within my Major Markets Plus folder, because it's a mixture of indexes and ETFs. And well, this is the relative strength for percent change for 1 week. If I go in here and change this to let's just say 24 weeks, I'll just use that arbitrarily. and go up to the top of this. You can see the Bitcoin Investment Trust, what it's done, and all of these ARK funds, plus the Innovator IBD breakout opportunities, the Russell, and a lot of strength in the small caps. In fact, I want to do something very quickly here. I'm going to go back to the NASDAQ composite, and this time going to go up to my market charts. I'll just go to my standard NASDAQ chart, and you can see that it is out to a new high. This is yesterday. The volume was not as much as the day before, but we're out to a new 52-week high, and you can see the advancing versus declining stocks, the advancing versus declining volume. If the green's above the red, that's positive. New highs versus new lows. I looked at this last week. You can see that the new lows were down here, and look how they've come back. But interestingly enough, they haven't surpassed these new highs here, even though the index is out to a new high. I'll take a quick look at Ian's multiple chart. It went from red last week in several of these to all green this week. Okay, I'm going to go to a different chart. I'll just go back to those under my frequently used charts, and under context analysis, I'll just go back to the weekly chart. And you know, it's just on and on. How long can this go on? I don't know. Been looking for a correction for a long time. It just hasn't been happening. Let's go back to relative strength here. Let's just go to Ian Slow, which is similar to the IBD rankings. It's not the same. I don't know their formula, but this is more of a long-term look. And what do we have here? We have Bitcoin, ARK, Next Generation, Innovation, Autonomous, Genomic, and then gasoline has been coming up a lot after this disaster here. It's increased. Well, here's what we have: 3 months, almost 50% on this weekly chart. Okay, I'm going to go down to a different folder. I'm going to go to the Spider ETFs Expanded. This is the percentage price change 1 day. I'll click through to the Ian Slow on the ETFs, and you can see the biotech. This is where the action's been. Look at this biotech chart recently. Metals and well, here's metals and mining, retail. This reversed this week. It looks like home builders are on the move again. It's everything's moving up. It's all there's no place else to put money. You know, the excuse in the media is it's based on the stimulus, but yeah, partly so. But it's based because everything's going up and everybody's piling in, and there's a lot of fresh money that's come into these ARK funds and other funds, and you know, at some point it'll turn. But right now the flow is up. I'm going to do one more thing, and then I'm going to end this. I'm not going to get into any individual stocks. I'm just giving you a market overview. Market analysis user groups, broad market indices. Click through to this. Then I'll go to the ranking module. Look at this, the Russell's on top. These are my HCSI indexes that are created. All NASDAQ, mid cap, small cap. This is the longer term. If I go to raw relative strength, let's just look at this over the last week. Once again, I need to go over here. Where has the strength been? It's been in the small cap, institutional index, and the mid cap, Russell, NASDAQ. Small caps are on fire right now. Look at this. This is a weekly chart. I'm going to go to my HCSI index charts. Look at my two favorite charts here. The percent above the 20, 30, 50. Here's the Bollinger Bands. You can see this is outside the Bollinger Bands, but look how this has changed in the past week. Here's where we were a week ago with the percent above the 20, 30, 50, and 100, and that's totally reversed, turned around here, and moved up. I'm on the small cap institutional. If I go down to my buy sell, last week we didn't get a sell signal almost because this one didn't turn red up here on the 5 to 1, 3 to 1 declining to advancing volume, but it turned green here. We got a buy signal right here on Monday with all of these green, or a potential buy signal. Let's look at another one of these. Let's look at the Russell. Okay, the buy signal, well, it's yellow because this one had not turned green, but you can see that it all turned up. The trend's up on the moving averages. All NASDAQ reversed itself. It looked pretty bad last week, but all of these reversed themselves. So a lot of strength in this market, and you can play with this yourself if you get into the broad market indices, and you can go down. These are ACSI indexes, so you can go down. You can just change to the index group and see where the strength is based upon the percent change 1 week. Just scroll up to the top, and you'll find stocks. Here's a cheap stock, but big percentage move, up 59%. Anyway, I went over 15 minutes a little bit. I just wanted to show you how the market has totally reversed itself, and the strength is still there, and it remains there until it doesn't. Thanks for listening. Have a good